Good day, everyone. Father Neil Dadey here once again with you. And tonight, I just want to discuss with you something in a spiritual life that all of us seem to struggle with, including myself. The ability to surrender to God. That's very hard and very difficult. Because in our Western culture, we don't like that term, or we don't like what it means. Surrender, meaning basically we give up ourselves. We quit. We can't go on. I surrender. And so we don't like to do that, especially in our Western culture mindset. We want to be number one. We want to direct. We want to lead. We want to guide. We want to be, in a sense, the top dog. But in a spiritual life, it's just the opposite. In order to grow, in order to come closer to God, we need to surrender to Him in every and all circumstances in our life. And that is where we find the difficulty. Because as you know, in our normal everyday living, we face many situations that we don't like. We face many situations that have not come to a fruitful completion that we thought would be. That we experience things that disturb us, that frustrate us. And we get so angry because we don't have control over them. We don't have what we want. And so we seethe inside. We are angry within. We sometimes even are bitter about the situation or the things. And we tend to forget in those moments that we're not in charge, folks. God is. We're not seeing the big picture. God does. And I say this specifically because many of us did not have the election go the way we wanted it to go. Let's be honest. It wasn't the result that we hoped for. And so what do? We have a choice to make. Do we remain angry and bitter and resentful? Do we take it out on the church? Do we take it out on the various priests throughout the diocese? Do we take it out on everybody else? Which only cause us to be miserable, angry, lonely people. That's one choice. The second choice is to say, okay, it didn't go our way, it didn't go my way, but I surrender to God. He's in control. He's in charge. He's the one that hopefully will bring something good out of all this chaos that we seem to be going through. And when we surrender ourselves to God, when we surrender our will, when we surrender our anger, when we surrender our bitterness, when we surrender our finger pointing, then and only then can God's peace come into our hearts and into our lives. It might not change situations, not just with the election, but with circumstances in our own life that we become angry and bitter over. But we will have the calmness, the peace, and the vision of God that will allow us to walk through this till we reach a happy conclusion. What is that happy conclusion? As the saying goes, only God knows for sure. And that's where I hope all of us can leave it. We can let go of everything that's bringing us down today. We can let go of everything that's causing us to be angry. We need to let go of all that bitterness and seeking to get even with someone or finding fault or finding the reason why in others. Let it go. What is it getting you? Nothing. But we need to have that surrender to God and His will that truly is mysterious to every one of us. But if we believe and trust in Him, then we will have that peace, and we can surrender to His providence over our lives, over our church. Remember, He's in charge, not us. He's in charge. We're not. And I pray that we will live by that. I pray that we will allow that to happen within us. Because if not, we're going to be miserable people. And ultimately, the choice is ours. God bless.